spiritual Sunday vibe message. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We have also Facebook, social media. Follow us there at the Working It Out series. Also, join if you have a spiritual prayer or you need spiritual support or you have a spiritual request or you want to just motivate and share in spirituality with the group. We have a wonderful group called the Spiritual Vibration Challenge, and it's on Facebook, and it is growing and growing and growing. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's getting how many people keep coming in there. It's so great. And don't be afraid. You will be so valued. You'll be so welcome and so encouraged if you join that. And if you like to listen to radio station, I am all over the podcast for the Working It Out series. I'm Dr. Traci K with an I. So, and we would love if you would partner, because you become a member or you give thanks or an in-kind donation off our YouTube channel. There's our YouTube channel. There's a thanks heart. You can do that. You can donate. Check out our sponsors. There's a wonderful section on the workingoutseries.com that has a wall of gratitude. You can post what you're grateful for. There's another area for it's a mission for me to do this, and everybody agrees to have a prayer, to everybody join in a world peace prayer, and that is also on the site. I'll have them link it down in the description box for this. But I want to talk today in regards to the new book that I'm promoting right now for your in-kind lapidation. Get this book, Be Calm Like Water. But I want to talk about perception. And I want to talk about how it's your perception that matters. We think that the only way to change in life is to change our lives or to work harder and longer, but it's not. The way we change is from the inside out. We need to change the way we think about our situation. We need to change the way we approach life's problems and the way we enjoy the moment. And that means taking control of our minds and our spirit and also our physical, mind, body, and spirit, basically. Once you can do that, you can take back control and you can feel confident, relaxed, and happy in the exact same circumstances. See, today, I'm telling you right now, we live in a very dark, negative type of times. When you watch news, when you watch certain types of shows, it's all in some ways. They're doing it through media, they're doing it through these certain types of artists, or they're trying to do it through, commercials or whatever. It's basically in the movies. Oh my goodness, movies day. I don't go to the movies anymore. But the point is, I respect movies, but I watch the ones that are based on, good stuff or whatever. It just depends. But today, there's also other great movies and short films that talk a lot about what is going on, and there's a lot of things that are now web series, which is kind of what I do, and TV web series. So they're also streaming on viewing. And if you want to get some more wholesome types of good things going in your mind, watching through your eyes to your brain, because there is a nerve, guys, that goes from your back of your corner all the way to a section of your brain that is an important message center that flows all the way down, and it's really about, so you wonder why eyes are not pretty. But let me tell you something. If you want to, you can go and check out some of your spiritual broadcastings, or watch some of the shows they do, or short films, and they also have PureFlix, which is PureFlix. But they're not my sponsor. I'm just giving you some ideas. And what the best thing to do is listen, and also visual. That's what my web series, my TV series is about. It's about visual things that are bringing more positive things with your vision. So that's why you don't see me a lot talking into the camera, because it's not about me. It's about you and getting the message through. And what better way to do that? And what's more fun than always looking at somebody, and you can look at more visual stuff that projects more the message that we're trying to understand, so you can understand it better, and that's important. So again, shout out to everybody on that spiritual vibration challenge. That's all about the art, motivational. I love that stuff. It's awesome. Keep at it. So when when it means taking control of your body, mind, and spirit, and kicking out that confidence, you gotta have that confidence. You gotta have that strength. And this is a time right now that I can see that. I can pick that up. I'm feeling it. I'm starting to get big. So once you do that, you can start creating a space to actually plot a course and to start changing life for the better. You can stop treading water. You can stop feeling stuck, and you can start swimming, and you can start running through the forest like a cheetah, fast as can be. You can leap as tall as whatever, and you can fly like an eagle. It's raising that vibration. Again, it's a tough way to do it. We all go through it. I go through it, but that's what it's about. We have to be reminded, and it's so understanding about how it's gotten so much worse on the sin-wise that they talk about. Now, I'll go into the perception for your Christianity Christianity folks. But I'm going to start with more of the spiritual aspects and the personal self-growth part. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, okay? Once you've understood that there's a platitude and, just like a bumper sticker would be. Now, I know that's like, you're like, what? I know it's kind of abstract, but just stick with me here. Because this is where the science comes in. It might just change the way you think about your life, your brain, and your interplay between the two. And I've noticed that, like, things might become clearer. And, again, body, mind, and spirit. So you have to be healthy. You have to help your mind, get it back. I mean, it's amazing when you do that and you work with the right supplements and nutrition, on top of that, meditations and prayers and all that. You'll start seeing clearer and understanding, picking up so much faster. Your intuition could be on speed dial, and you'll be able to do it. So you can slow it down and pay attention. You can use it at the right time, so you're not so overboarded. So that's what I'm saying, is the perception matters. Some people, you might see something. See something in an object, and another person might see something else, an object. It's like that that dress they talked about. Where is it a blue dress or a white dress? You know what I'm saying? It's way perception. So think about that. I mean this in the most literal and realistic of senses. Okay? Think about it this way. You can be surrounded by fire, all right? And be completely calm and happy. And it never touches you. You never feel the heat. In fact, even if you were engulfed in it, you would never feel the pain, because it is an essence, or the sense of the thing, and you can still be relaxed, completely unstressed. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you, is in the first case scenario, like you're surrounded by this fire, right? But you believe that you're invincible. And as far as you're concerned, nothing can hurt you. And you have nothing to fear. And as a result, you remain calm. And your heart rate doesn't even rise. Well, other than the effects of the heat. But what if you're so anointed that you don't even feel the heat? The fire is part of you because you are outward in sense that, and it's not inside. So you don't feel the heat. Right? Because of this invincible shell, and the fire can't touch you. Or you actually can use that fire for the business in a positive way, stress way, calm way. Right? Like I just said. In the second scenario, you're sitting at home comfortable with a warm cup of tea. You're surrounded by your family who love you, supposedly, right? When they want to, they can. You have the TV on. You're showing your favorite TV program. Alright? But all you can think about is work. you have to do tomorrow. Money problems, health problems. Fact is, about successful things, the person that was so rude to you, co-worker, whatever. Family member that just took away and pissed you off or something like that. Whatever it is, you, you know, or it could be like, oh, my goodness, my eyes are red. Anything. The point is, or you can say, I feel kind of fat today. Whatever it is. As a result, your body and brain interpret the signals as you being the danger. You see what I was getting at? Just roll and roll and roll it. Your brain produces more norepinephrine, more cortisol, more dopamine, and more adrenaline. And as a result, a person who's surrounded by flames like that, but diluted, is actually happier and calmer than the person who sat at home, but stressing out like that. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you should be that deluded guy, right? And surround yourself by fire. No. That's dangerous. But you really shouldn't be like stressed guy. You should be relaxed and calm. Here's the thing. A lot of us usually are. This is why it's so important to take control of your mind, because it's what impacts on your happiness, your calm, your focus, and all other things that contribute to you being happy and successful. And changing your environment, changing your circumstances, adding that fire and standing up is often incredibly difficult. Yeah, see? Right? So good. Impossible, but you can change your mind today. And that can be an incredible benefit. It can be an incredible benefit. See, in a section where I'll give you some sections about perception. Proverbs 12, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. Imagine you're waving your arms and trying to stop traffic just before like a corner because you know the bridge is out, right? And you're trying to, get somebody to get their attention. And so the perception is basically, the bridge is out and there's fear there, correct? And you're like, okay, I'm being conformed from this world, but yet I'm transformed by the renewal of my mind. But that is just like testing yourself. You may have a disconcern here for the will or what is good and acceptable, perfect. And if you can't beat that, and the perception may be within more of a weakness in a power sense when it should be more of a strength coming from that. So another one that talks about a great way to change your perception for the Christianity, which might be reality anyways, but it's something you can say in Philippines. Finally, they say, Philippines 4. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there's any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. This beautiful verse is almost like saying, as a man thinks, so is he. And as a woman thinks, so is she. So she is, he is. And if we fill our mind with things that are lovely, pure, and honorable, then there's where our mind will be. Perception can seem like reality, but tell that to the people who thought the earth was once flat, right? And it's the same thing as people when they're still in that dark area and their perception is different. Here you are, and you know that they understand. You know that you were there where they're at, and they just can't seem to get out. You want to help pull them out of the light, pull them out of the dark into the light. But the point is, if they're not going to, then what's going to? Because their perception is different of you, and so instead of it being understanding that's the true essence of half toy, because they're not that, they're going to think, oh, it's gonna hurt them and irritate them and annoy them, and so it's so sad that happens. But you know when I get my drift, 'cause I know we've all been there at one point in our life. And we look at those kind of people like, oh my gosh, what a, oh, nut. Like, right? So the perception is different. So to the naked eye was that if you went too far out into the oceans, maybe, have you ever looked at something where you think the plane is right there, too close, but it's actually all of a sudden distance, but it makes it look like it's closer, but it's distant? There you go. So that is what I'm trying to explain to you. So Paul talks about it also in the Bible, in the Christianity Bible, about how the perception is sense of admonition, and it almost sounds like a replacement therapy, but where you put things that are in replace with God, good. So example is James is another resource. One, count it all joy. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. So James tells us something that is just the opposite of the way of the world thinks. Most believe that trials are not good at all, but we are to count to see if that's beneficial when we encounter trials in our life or people, and because the testing of our faith is being produced and tested and produces steadfastness, it's all part of our life plan, and our trials is being doing. And most people are like, because they're so dark, they don't want to get it. Without having the joy, the trials will only be sorrow, pain, but we look at it from God's perspective, or from the higher source perspective, or the one, if we put that, maybe if we haven't experienced that, then that's all we see is that. So our perception is that's the way they are. And you see, well, that's not the way it is in mine. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. The perception matters. So when you start shifting and then you can see more. And there's a reason for that, remember. If something is this way and that way, you see it pattern. That's the way you look to the higher power, your higher sources, or God. But everybody else is talking about him like, oh, he's so loving and unconditional, and he puts me up on a pedestal, I'm a child of the Most High, blah, blah, blah. Like, what heck's that? Oh, the enemies were going to come, just give it to God and don't take care. Boom. Where was that? See, that's the point is, because where your reality is and your perception is not allowing you, it's showing you, but you're still trying to understand why this is the way it is. And that's the way you got to shift. And the perception, so now all of a sudden, and I'm telling you, when that happens, it's really strange how the transformations in your life. Even things look different. Even the colors are different. I mean, you could be almost blind as a bat, but it's the way your energy vibrates and changes and shifts, and then you'll see things change. It's really wild like that. In Colossians chapter 3, it's set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. So to change a person's perception, we need to change what a person thinks of. And if we're setting our minds on things that are below and here on earth, we'll not see the things that God or the higher power is doing, or through us, the Holy Spirit, so good, and in us by what we are going through here on earth. In other words, let our heavenly thinking overshadow those things on earth. Let eternal things of God dominate and our thinking over the present evil world we live in today. Remember, if you not listened to my other video about the Garden of Eden type of deal, it was that was given as such in Genesis, nothing of. But once they had chose, it opened up the sin of the world. And that's why, to this day, you see that constantly, war, whatever. And enough is enough. As people like you that are supposed to think, oh, we are the ones that were chosen and gifted, even when you're a child, you think you're different in a different way. You're taught to be silent, not open around, blah, 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 blah. right? Now it's time that they're saying, the higher angels and all, whatever you call them, it's time to stand up. Enough is enough. Time to stand up. And so another thing, for example, is like Proverbs 14. There is a way that seems right to a man, but it's in the way to death. The same verse is found also in Proverbs 16. And this is, and I'm going to tell you the next time, I'm almost done with it, but it's not for me, but from a donation that's offering to, for so much, contributing at the end of Wisdom of Solomon. Oh my gosh, amazing things to talk about that. But so, like, for example, Solomon, if you don't know who that is, he was a pretty prominent person in that in the Bible, Christianity Bible. So there, he writes this. He says there is a way. He's like wisdom. What about? That's what I'm talking about in the next thing. Because if you apply some of the things that this guy has, that he did, and I'm pretty sure you'll see things that'll be successful in a sense. And I mean, I'm still trying to learn it, so it's amazing. But Solomon talks about that the way that seems right, but it ends in the way of death. So why would Solomon repeat this? And so now, I'm thinking of, it kind of, maybe it's because it's Jewish literature, and I don't, it's been rewritten so many times, try to translate it. It's always done on to put the emphasis on that. And Solomon was like stressing in the fact that humans seem to know what's right, but later it blows up, blows up in their faces. Example today, back then they probably said, without seeking the wisdom, it means that you must fear. And that blocks a lot of things being able to vibrate a sense and enough to be able to actually understand. And if we never even asked for it, just like as in James and Matthew, it says, hey, ask and you shall knock, receive, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you heard that before. But we're always being tested. And so, in a sense of testing in the way of, are we living through in righteousness or ridiculousness? Most people start probably laughing right now, but yeah, most everybody's ridiculousness. Come here. So if we're in women, are we living in that righteousness and wisdom? So instead, we're fearing a sense of ridiculousness. And so what that states in Psalm, there's a phrase stated in Psalm 11, chapter 11. Did I get that right? I gotta look at my notes here. Okay. The Lord tests the righteous. But if his soul hates the wicked, the soul hates his wicked, or the one who loves violence. And violence is something that is, what? What's violence? Meaning, you think it's worse than it is, but it's actually just to intercept, block, distract, redirect something that is actually moving in action. And that's part where violence. So it talks about that and says in the verse, because of the natural tendency to judge others or others when you see them, or as going through trials, we might think, okay, I guess I deserve this, but the truth is, no, might that be the Lord is only testing the righteous, and instead of being ridiculous. So it's a test of our faith. I mean, and again, that's gotta be maybe upsetting to you guys, because hey, my gosh, don't you have something better to do, right? I mean, stop the war, get some peace. Why are you guys gonna be messing and testing with me and stuff? No, God doesn't test our faith in a sense of the way we vibrate and the way it's responding to that vibration, and how your strength is compared within your faith. So rather, it's us to see how strong and weak we our own. So he or she, the higher power, whatever, already knows the stat. But the faith is as a sense of what we have already, are being judged by from Adam and Eve. I actually, this is my opinion on this, and I know maybe some of you might agree, but if you're strict discipline, you might not. On a spiritual sense, is that, well, if it comes to this point, and we've earned that spot in Jesus' divine, Why should we be judged based on what Adam and Eve did? It's no different than like, oh, why should I be judged based on what my ancestors did when it comes to slavery? I had nothing to do with that. Or why should I be judged based on because I was related to a German people in German. I mean, but Hitler, whatever. It's just, the point is that's what I'm trying to say, and that's what I'm trying to explain now. That enough is enough, and so it's our time to not be so tested so much. But that may be because we do not understand the way to change our perception of things, and then that's why it's not flowing like we should. That's all. And if you don't want to learn more about frequency and score, you need to check out my mini master class, and I have a full class on it, on your frequency score about that. So, we need to focus on that. So, as in, it's a supply of every need to the riches of glory. So, perception, for a lot of us, may not be reality because we tend to focus on the here and now. But we often start looking at tomorrow before it even gets here, and oh my gosh, boom, what happened? Right? What happened? Where'd it go? Oh man, I should have done it. I should have, woulda, coulda. And so if we only believe what God's promises or the higher power, He will supply every need of ours. It comes out in an abundance of riches, but you're saying, excuse me, I want to be rich. I want to be successful. I thought about this. I don't want to be. What's it mean? But the point is, why does that have anything to do? That's not what it's about when it comes to abundance. So, may not be so anxious, but if you want to reach and experience that, it's not a bad thing. It's there. You just got to learn how to get on that frequency, that level, so that you can connect with it and materialize it into your own vortex or your own space, your reality, right? So, I really think that is pretty cool when it comes to things like that. Now you're thinking, well, Dr. Traci, how do you do that? What do you do? Yes, one thing, a tough thing is about, and that's prayer, peace, taking time every single day to sit in your space, which is connect to your higher source, God, to be able to have some time with them, time yourself, build a relationship, which is the same way, it's the same, it's building a relationship with yourself. God made himself in our image, remember? So the thing is, to better understand, and it's not just that, there's other things connected too, that are connected to Him, and that maybe you might not understand, you'll learn. But in conclusion, one great way to change our perception, which might not be reality anyways, is to be in the Word, to practice, like I said, spending that time. If you meditation, prayer, mantras, chanting, yoga, whatever you need, but spend time with that and build a relationship. Practice and learning, growing in a godly way. Be working on the perspective of that. You know, many things to be done in that matter. When you tithing is another very powerful way to shift in things. We call it donations, which I told you earlier about. And I understand this. So if you don't understand that, then you need to get also. But remember, do it with the mindset of that godly way. And so I also, how do I put this? Say, for instance, you look at the birds of the air, and if you look at them, or you look at animals, they never sow, they never reap, nor gather into barns like they get. They live high in the Heavenly Father that feeds them over and over again. And yet we're not aware of how valuable they are. I mean, it's like, wow. And so that is basically telling us that the creatures in nature, and see how they're always taking care of the balance in a sense. It's because they're always taking care of in their lifespan of what they are. So put it this way, aren't we more valuable than that? Is what I'm trying to think about here. Of course we are. Make certain of it to provide for his creature. So why wouldn't it be provided for us? Hello, right? And the appreciation of that. So that is one thing, is an amazing point too. And if you want to check out more about how this, get in one of our classes on working it out. Check out some of the courses there. There's tons of stuff, lesson books, music, meditations, energy healing. We have courses you can take. You can get certified even in them. You got to check it out. And we appreciate everything. We're working on getting better types at our site, so don't worry about that. I'm trying to work on that, so we have better things for our members that come in, so you get into some form. But let's all help with that in perception. So if you're out here with me, you can help us so much with that. And check out sponsors, and check out the Spiritual Vibration Challenge courses. You can become certified as a spiritual vibration coach. It's great for those who work in spiritual types of missions or careers. And let's all come together now. Put our hands together in heart, in prayer mode. Fingers wide. Oh, I am so thankful today. Grateful today that you showed me so clearly a better life and understanding of perception and how I'm going to learn. I'm thankful that I have met and listened to this. Those who listen to this, I'm thankful for that you are amazing. You're starting to really take initiative, change the areas of ways of how you are spiritually, and also through your body and your mind. And I want to say congratulate you for taking that step, because it's a big step, and I know you might want to give up at some times. I understand that. But hold on, and this is why I ask you come back ever and listen to things. Get motivated again. That's what it's all about. Now, take a deep breath in. Claim it today. Blow out. Feel that being received into your body, that positive spiritual vibe message today, and you're blowing out what was all heavy on everything that you've been dealing with at the week. Get rid of it, blow it out, send it back to the earth, and be grateful and thank you, the earth. Feed the earth, thank you back to the energy so it can be replenished. Now raise your hands up to your third eye, forehead. Go shine your light, your love. Always be in that spot. Work on that light, work on that shining. Ask somebody, just present it. And everything that we sing, claim you do, always vow to claim it. Yes. So good. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you on the next Sunday Vibe message. Take care.